Welcome to In This Season podcast, where we unpack the most empowering conversations, have exclusive and inspirational interviews, and host special events. Join Tammy, some call her Butterfly, and explore life's purpose by learning how to embrace each season of your life with confidence, strength, and purpose. Whether you're blooming in the spring, or shining in the summer, or embracing change in the fall, or gracefully hibernating in the winter, get ready to be inspired. Join us right here on this season of In This Season podcast with your host, the Butterfly. It's time, no matter what season it is.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. I don't know what's up with this thing. It will not let me go horizontal. Good morning, Mama.
Good morning.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
It's okay. Usually if I turn it to the side, it just does it. And now when I turn to the side, this is what y'all get. Or if I turn it to the other side, this is what y'all get. Isn't that crazy? So y'all gonna see me up and down today.
You remember my phone has always did that, and you said, no, Mom, you can make it, do it the wide way. But my phone has never did that. Like the way yours was before. So
Right. I went and tried it, and I changed it, but it's okay. No worries. Good morning.
Good
We're
morning.
gonna make it do what it do.
That's right. Y'all know I got something I want to do this morning. Who's on with us? Miss Brenda, Mr. Mike. Y'all just gonna give me 1 minute, because let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm feeling it. I need y'all to dance with me. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Come on. Let's bring Sunday on in. Come on. Miss Brenda, Mike, y'all doing it? Come on. Come on. Come on, Brandon. Come on.
I'm trying. I'm holding this phone. Look, I'm good with the phone. Look.
In this season, what we doing? We rejoicing, right? Yeah. Come on, y'all.
Somebody had their coffee.
Bring this season in. Come on. I ain't want to turn it off. Come on. Y'all remember that?
Now I was a baby.
Come on.
Mommy,
Come on.
silly. Don't make me like I got kids in their sleep, baby.
They can't pranks on that one. Come on, y'all. Miss Brandon, come on. Remember that?
So funny.
The gangster walk. Butterfly walk. Transformation walk. Rejoice walk. Come on, y'all. All
so
right.
funny.
Okay, I got it out.
There you go.
Did y'all do it? Mike, did you do it?
Just a little bit.
Brandon be trying to act all shy on the
No, I ain't trying to be shy. I'm trying to make sure I don't lose y'all.
Why? What's going on over there?
No, I'm just saying, trying to get everything right with this phone. It annoys me so much that it's up and down, but we're gonna keep it the way it is. It's good.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So thank you guys for yesterday, your patience. I felt like, we jumped off really quick. People were coming in, some new people, and I saw that. So thankful. I hope they will come back and join us today. Yesterday was a great day in spite of everything. It was a great day. Worked around some beautiful souls. I texted my boss and said, it's a blessing to be among the living. And I knew she knew what I meant by people. Like when I got there, they were asking, "Where's Brandon? Are you okay? With your tire?" And I'm like, wow, and they were just so helpful. I came back. I was on my break, and I came back, and one of the ladies that had been, asking me questions, when I came back, y'all, she was trying to sign somebody up for me.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? It was the absolute best thing. Let me turn this, because I thought I had those blinds closed enough. I may just jump up and close them. But I just want to thank y'all for your patience, for jumping in, for not, and coming back. So, Brandon, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to close these blinds more, okay?
Sounds good. Well, welcome, everybody. We appreciate it. Yep. As some of you know, Mom had a flat tire yesterday. And we were already meeting up at like 6 a.m. Somewhere, but all praise be to God, everything worked out, and it ended up being a great day. And you know what? We neither of us let it worry us or stop us. So we just kept on rolling and kept on pushing. So that's just how it goes. And you know what? It was the day before, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just thinking about the last 3 or 4 passages that we've read from the book. They have all come into play. So when I read these passages now, it's almost like, I'm not, a spooky person, but y'all remember that movie Jumanji, where they would roll the dice and then they'd read something and then all of a sudden it start happening.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
I feel like we're doing something like that. Of course, God is the best of planners, but it just seems like this book is following us around, or we're just in situations where we're able to use some of the insights that we get from this book. So, what book am I talking about? Daily Motivations for African American Success. For y'all who don't know, who haven't been here, this is the book. It's a great book. It's by Dennis Kimbro. Again, Daily Motivations for African American Success. And here on In the Season, the podcast, we read a passage from it and offer you what we think about it, try to break it down as best we can and show you how it applies to everyday life. A little bit more about this book. Daily Motivations for African American Success will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals. In 365 short but powerful motivations, one for each day of the year, Dennis Kimbro, the author of Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and to look inward for answers to life's challenges. Each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Elderman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year. What it teaches will last you a lifetime. So thank y'all for joining us. Mom, we got anybody else in the chat?
We do have Big Mike says, well, he gave us a smile. Let me go back up and start from where we left off. Big Mike says, I've been dancing since last night since I won my games. Did Colorado win, y'all? Because I went to sleep. I can't fool with y'all this afternoon because they were kind of making me mad. Miss Brenda Davis said, I did it, got my groove on. There you go. See?
Hey.
Got my groove on. And then Mike sends us the smiley face. So
Oh.
keep dancing, y'all. Keep dancing today. Keep that groove going. Oh, so I kind of thought that Mike says no, Colorado did not win. So I don't know what was going on with them last night. I could have beat them, one man team. Something was happening. So
I ain't
Latasha said,
into it too
good
much.
morning. I'm not into it a lot, but I do every now and then. I like, especially I like a good game. It gets to a point where I don't really care who wins. I just want y'all to show up and play. Do what you do. That's all you do, really. Play. For them, not all, because they're not, professional, but or NFL and all that. So sweet daughter in love says, great day, love you both. We love you too. Hope everything is going good there on that end. So
Cool.
we are ready to
Let's do it.
rock it in. Let me get our other family in. They at the gate waiting for us. Instagram, right, Brandon?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So all right, as we do this, we gotta check on some people.
Yeah, with
Kayla, yeah,
yeah.
and KL, Kevin Lane. We've been missing a few of our regulars, and Al Sal, Big Al. I think he's been going back listening to the shows after. So y'all who are regulars, don't think that. I mean, I thought about Kayla last night, but it was a little bit too
Me
late
too.
to reach out to her. So I'll make sure I do that today. Make sure everything's going good with her and family. So, all right, Brandon, let's rock
Let's
with
rock
it.
with it. Was your coffee good this morning?
It is. I want to go refill,
Man, mine's so
but
good. I wish I could make it so good, but My wife, y'all, wakes up every morning and makes my coffee, y'all. Every single morning. And I appreciate it too, because she makes it so much better. You know what it say? Some herbs with some love. What that the verse we were reading? Some
With
herbs with some love.
yeah, what
Yep,
was
it's
it?
better than basically a fat ox. The hatred. I don't know. I always think about that now. But let's jump into the reading today, y'all. Today is September 8th, and our title today, in short passage here, says the title is "Give It Up."
Give it up.
Give it up. John H. Johnson, who's the founder of Johnson Publishing Company, said the key to my success has been to give up everything for my dream. The key to my success has been to give up everything for my dream.
Mm.
In one single, sweeping sentence, our Creator gives us the key to help us unlock our possibilities. Cast your bread upon the waters, and it shall return to you. If we release our talents, our time, our gifts with a feeling of hope and positive expectancy, they will return to us in the form of multiplied blessings. When I began to study this verse, I came to the conclusion that it didn't make much sense. If you throw bread upon the water, it will get soggy and dissolve. If it does return, neither of us would care to eat it. The text doesn't make much sense until you realize that the phrase was originally spoken in a culture where fish was the basis for economic survival. If you throw bread upon the water, the bread itself will not be edible, but it will attract fishes to the surface so that you can net them. That's what the author of this biblical verse had in mind. If you're hungry, take your bread and give it up. Throw it into the water. You'll lose your bread, but you'll gain a meal fit for royalty. Likewise, a seemingly insignificant, quote unquote, crazy idea can deliver enormous potential. When you give forth your talents, time, and gifts, your quote unquote bread will return to you multiplied. And our affirmation today reads, I will concentrate on giving my talents and gifts. In due time, my good will return. I will concentrate on giving my talents and gifts. And in due time, my good will return. Over to you, Mom. What do you think about giving it up?
I like it. I like it. I like it. Of course, I'm going to go back up where it says, if we release our talents, our time, our gifts with a feeling of hope and positive expectancy, they will return to us in the form of multiplied blessings. There's a if we release, but there's a how it is released. What are we releasing, right? How are
Mm-hmm.
we releasing it? Is it with hope, positivity, or is it just we're throwing it out there, not expecting a return, not hopeful, not positively, but negatively, right? Which goes back to what we think, what we say, what we do. If there's any power that can reverse the fortunes of race, it is character. How does character show up in your life? What is character in your life? Every thought. What are you thinking? Is your thinking improving? The way you think, is it improving? Right? When you were talking about Sella making the coffee, I had this glimpse of just seeing Sella evolve. Like there's a level of peace that has, I don't know, there's something that's just so peaceful about Sella's presence. Ease. It's just like, I don't know, it feels like you're just on a very sunny, like a perfect day. Like yesterday, I think the weather was um
That was Soul's
we had the
personality.
most beautiful weather, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
I said the
Yeah,
yesterday's
it's
weather was her personality.
yes, yes, yes. And it was yesterday was perfect. The weather was perfect. And so Stella has this just this easiness about her, right? And I've seen, and not that she always didn't, but it's different. There's something different. Her aroma, her energy is something different. So we ought to evolve. And that when you said something about the coffee, I thought about that, because when I was over there with her a few days ago for something, I don't know what, but I was just sitting there in the, I don't know, it was just a different feeling there. It was just a very peaceful, easy, very, very, more than usual. So how are we
Good.
thinking? Right, right. Like, how are we thinking? Are we growing? Are we looking at, it says every deed we utter, right? Every action we perform. How? What are you casting? What are you giving up? Are you giving up? Are you giving it up? Maybe that's a better question. Are you? Because sometimes, y'all, we want to hold on to stuff that we ain't even using, right? Somebody's going to get your blessings, right? And y'all, we're good to say nobody, what's for me is for me. Okay. Are you using what's for you? There's a lot of things that we just say because we've heard them. But if you're just saying them and they're not coming alive, like if you're throwing things out there and they're not coming back to you, like you're not reaping, or maybe we are reaping what we're sowing, right? Or what we're throwing out. So how it is what, and Brenda, I love the fact that you say, well, I guess Dennis Kimbro is also saying here about the bread. If you throw bread out, it gets soggy, but the bread will attract fish. So what are you throwing out, and what is it attracting? That's a great way to look at, to assess, I guess, where you are. What are you attracting? Who are you attracting? And then how are you dealing with it? How do you deal with with God multiplying in your life? Because we talked about, sometimes God may not give you some things because he know if you gave you this, you will forget him. And maybe you already have. So if he gives you more, the more you will go further away from him. Right. So I like this one, Brandon. Give it up, y'all. And what are you giving up? What is it? What is it? Now that reminded me, Brandon, of the June, I guess in June, when I talked to the spoke at for the senior citizens, telling them that they are blessed with it, to give it up. Don't sit on it, because we need it. I know I do. I know I love being able to sit and talk to elderly people, because there's a something that they can always give us, whether it's what not to do or what to do more, because they've been through a lot more. They've lived through, right? So what is it for you? What is it? Where are you throwing it? How are you throwing it? And what is it attracting? Over to you, Brandon.
Thank you, Mom. I think you broke that down beautifully. And we've said this before, or I've mentioned this before, but the best way to receive something is to give something first. Even it's a known thing in advertising, or in person to person sales. Even give away a free pen and start a conversation. you know um put something in their hands, and that sparks a reciprocity, or basically them wanting to do the same to you. You gave them something. Oh, Mom done pulled out her pen. I knew.
Y'all remember this?
Mom pulled out her pen.
Y'all remember my pen?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But oftentimes you can't receive with tightly closed fists, but you do have to open up your hand and give before you can receive anything. And so, like Mom said, what are you willing to give up? And the bigger the investment, and the bigger the sacrifice, oftentimes the greater the reward, right? The greater the sacrifice, the greater the reward. I remember the passage in the Bible about the people coming to give charity, basically to pay alms. And there were people that were very, very wealthy, and they'd give a lot of money, right? But they did it kind of in a boastful fashion. Whereas this poor person came up and gave basically nothing, but it was all that they had. And it was said that she gave more. Well, I think it was a woman. had given more than everyone else because of just how much that little meant to her, right? And so I think whatever that sacrifice is to you, the greater the sacrifice is to you, the greater the potential reward, especially if you do it for a good cause. You can't be giving it up for nothing. You can't be casting your bread into a garbage can, because what are you going to get? You're going to get bugs,
Mm.
So watch where you cast your daily bread, because God will provide your daily bread, but what you do with it is up to you. It's a seed. Where you plant it is up to you. If you plant it on barren ground, you can't expect to reap fruit. You get if you set out, what was it? If you set out honey, you get bees, and if you set out, what was the other thing? You get flies. There's some kind of saying. It's like you don't attract flies with honey. You know what I mean? So what are you putting out when you give something, when you sacrifice something? For example, if you give a homeless person a jacket, don't give them the jacket that's all torn up in your closet.
That you don't want.
Don't give anything that you don't want, that isn't good. You know what I mean? Even if you don't want it, in a sense, don't let it be because its quality is less or because it's somehow defective, right? That's not, in my opinion, the charity, right? That's you doing yourself a favor and getting rid of it, getting it out of your house, out of your possession, right? But don't give that burden to anyone else, even if it may seemingly help them. Never take away the dignity of being a human being, right? The dignity that involves in clothing yourself, that makes us distinct from the animals. If you just give them something, of low quality, then what do you expect in return? So give from that which you do yourself. It's interesting. I have in the ancient world, there was slavery, right? And it wasn't slavery in the same sense that we experience, our ancestors experienced slavery here in America, right? That was very, very different. Not saying that any type of slavery is good, but slavery is talked about, or servitude in a sense is talked about in our traditional, in our religious, in our faith traditions to some degree. And I remember reading more about about how my faith and how Islam like approached slavery. And at first I was like, I didn't think it would say anything about this, but it came in a time where there were people who had servants and had slaves, right? For whatever reason. But the guidance that came as a product of it would effectively end slavery. And how so it made it one of the best deeds you could do to free a slave, right? Because it came to a people that already had slaves, that were already committing like idolatries, that already had these this form of servitude inside of their economy, right? And just like the prohibition of alcohol, when Islam first, or when the revelation of the Quran first came to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, it wasn't instantly instituted that people couldn't drink, because people were drinking all the time. And if they just cold turkey said, nope, you guys can't drink anymore, no one would have came to the faith. So it was only revealed, some years later to not drink first it was don't be intoxicated coming to the prayer. Then it was, it became a little bit more conservative in that, and said, don't indulge in intoxicants at all. Anything that changes your state of mind to where you can't make the same decisions. But upon slavery, it said that anyone who frees a slave, is basically given a huge reward. So imagine you have a person, right, that is serving you for whatever reason. Let's say someone killed a member of your family, and you have the choice in justice to either have them punished, imprisoned, killed themselves, or serve you and your family, right? To be indebted with servitude in their life, and then you free that person. So that's a huge thing. And it also said, if you have a servant, clothe them with that which you clothe yourself. Feed them from that which you feed yourself. And if you see that there's a task that is too hard for them, help them in equity and in equality. So it also made it to where it was a good deed to marry someone who was born into slavery, so that they would not be slaves anymore, and their children would not be a slave. So if you freed a slave, it's one of the best deeds to free captives. And so there were situations where people would go around to see people that were selling slaves, in a sense, right? And it wasn't racialized in the same way, or to the degree that it was after the European slavery, but it was anyone from a different tribe, or even people within the same tribe. They had servants, right? And so there are people that would go around to the marketplace that were believers, right, that had accepted Islam and wanted to do some charity, and they would literally purchase the slaves and just to free them. So it effectively ended the institutionalization of slavery, because of just how much incentive there was to free the slaves, and to never go back into captivity, to not take anyone as a slave, right? So I just thought that was interesting about those types of quote unquote sacrifices. So, and then you think about even Abraham in the prospect of, that story that's very hard to understand as a child, right? When you're hearing this story about Abraham going up to sacrifice his son, right? His son. I mean, I cannot imagine. Like, I don't have that type of faith, right? But to be ready and willing to sacrifice your son, and then in the end, you're blessed or told to do a ram or a goat instead. But what came after that, right? That all of Abraham's descendants, that he would be the father of many nations. So he didn't have to give up a son. Instead, he gained nations of people, right? Including Christianity, Judaism, Islam, all coming from the loins, if you will, or the seed of Abraham. So he was willing to give up something big, and he ended up getting, a legacy that is still talked about to this day. So I'm always trying to make, relay this back to some of our spiritual traditions when we read something like this. But what it all boils down to is, what are you willing to cast out from that which you've been provided? And your provision includes everything. We have even your children. What are you willing to teach your children, right? In your legacy in this world. If you teach somebody a beneficial knowledge and they use it, even after you're dead, you still receive good deeds for it. It's still counted in your book of life that you inspired someone to do good, right? So the time that you've taken to learn something, or all those teachers out there who are working, making nothing comparatively, your work is not in vain. If your intention is good and you went in there to teach children beneficial knowledge, know that God doesn't forget you in that. Right? You're what you are not compensated in this life and in this world and in the here and now, I'm sure, and you should have faith that God will compensate you even greater than you could imagine in the hereafter for what you haven't been paid. But are you willing to be steadfast and to be patient in this life, and to still do the goodness that God set you to do? Because your purpose doesn't change based on what someone else will pay you for it, right? The pay doesn't change the purpose, right? But the purpose can change the pay. So it's just interesting how that works. But don't be discouraged that the what you cast out in this life. Don't be discouraged if you cast that bread out into that water and it just becomes soggy, right? If you had true faith, be patient. It could be that God is forgiving you of sins that you've forgotten of, just in you having the faith and throwing out that bread, you might not see it, right? It might be in the unseen, but God doesn't lie. And if you throw out that bread, you better know that God is benefiting you in some way. So what are you willing to give up? As great as that is, even greater is what you could receive. So give it up.
And how are you giving it up? Hopefully, positively,
Mm-hmm.
um, expecting, a positive attraction, right?
Yeah.
Expecting coming back. Brandon, I want to put one thing out. You mentioned about don't give people what you don't want. I want to put something out there because somebody might be listening. For those of us who are in the business of packing these boxes for people who are in need, boxes of food, let's please stop giving them expired food.
Mm.
Let's please stop giving them after you've picked through what you've wanted probably first, right? And it
Yeah.
reminded me of let me stay right there for a minute because I may not come back. I'll forget. Let's stop. Let's just stop giving people expired food. I saw some food that was expired in 2021. Y'all, it's 2024. How in the hell did
Mm.
that get in some elderly person's box of food who may not even know that they need to check what y'all are giving them? And then you go home and you sleep okay. You go to church and you, hallelujah, thank ya. But you just like the people who passed the wounded man and would not stop. And then a Samaritan comes along. It's in Luke and,
Mm-hmm.
and helps. So check yourself, right?
Yeah.
Check
Yeah.
yourself because you're the reason you keep running into a wall every turn, right? Right. So let's stop. That's what I just had to get that out. Let's stop. Let's stop. Let's stop. The one Brandon that day we volunteered, the young man I
The
met through,
Tuesday.
it
Mm-hmm.
was so organized, and I'm talking y'all. The food was like right now food, fresh out, like you could go in the store
It was
right.
produce. A lot of it was fruits and vegetables and cabbage and potatoes and milk and eggs. It was
That too,
real
but
food.
they had some. But that Black Label bacon is expensive. They were giving
Oh
out
yeah.
fresh. I mean, the date was like right now, right? It's ready to go right now. You got a long time before it even expires, and they was giving out packages. But I'm just saying, don't be okay with that. And if you are a part of that, speak up.
I,
If you're packing stuff and you see
mhm.
consistently that they are giving expired food away, hey, we can't do this, y'all. I'm sorry, Brandon. Over to you.
Oh
That's
no,
all I
no, no, no.
have.
That's all I got. I was just saying. I think they'll be doing it again on the 10th or this Tuesday
Yeah, I'll
because
come.
they do the second Tuesday of every month. And what I was gonna say is this is actually before you were saying that, y'all. Why don't we get together and do some acts of service together? Like as a group, as the people that watch this. And I know some of us live in different places, but in your respective places, how cool would it be if we had, Auntie Richetta and Cuz Tasha in Atlanta? We just planned that, okay, y'all, on this day, we're going to go do something, whether it's go feed the homeless at a mission or something like that. And the people here in Memphis or the people in wherever their respective places, we say, okay, when's our day of service, right? Like go out on that day and do something good. Plan it, not just going out randomly, but plan to go to the Ronald McDonald House, plan to go to St. Jude, and sign up for volunteering, plan to go do a neighborhood cleanup, right? But spend some time in doing something good because I promise y'all, like the way the blessing that comes in the rest of your day is incredible. I remember the day that we did that with the group that you were speaking of, Mom, and it seemed like my whole
Ooh,
rest of my day,
mm,
rest of my week was extended. It's like my 24 hours was different from everybody else's 24 hours that wasn't there. Like there was, we call it baraka or blessings. There was blessings inside of the time. We forget, and I'm going to end on this, y'all. We forget that time is a creature of God. We forget or don't know that time is a creature of God, and that there will come a time when God will cause time itself to die. Does that hit y'all? Y'all understand what I'm saying? That there will be a time when God will cause time to die. Time was created. So God has the ability to expand and contract time. How many of y'all need a little bit more time in a day? How many times have you done something good, right? Right? Or given from that which you have, and it seemed as if you were more satisfied with the less than with the more? And one of the hadith in Islam says that enough for one is enough for two, and enough for two is enough for four, and enough for four is enough for eight. So if you have enough for yourself, and you also give, and there's blessings in them all, and if you have enough for one and you split it with someone else who's hungry, you will be more full. And this is a blessing from God. You will be more full from splitting your food in half and giving from that which you've been provided than if you would have eaten all of that plate by yourself.
That's right.
You will be more full, because man does not, as the Bible says, live on bread alone. Right? So we are full by other things other than that. So likewise, if you give your time in the service of others, or making this world a better place, then you better believe that God is going to expand and bless the time that you have on this earth. Okay? And just know that time is a creature of God. It says time is undefeated. That's not true. God is over everything. Right? And just giving you guys some insights into the last day and the final day. There will be a time when God causes everything and everyone to die. Even the angel of death himself will be dead. And God will say into the void, who else is there? Is there any other God except me? As a proof to, that God is, that there's only one God. So just keep that in mind, guys, that time is a creature of God in itself. And God has the ability to bless your time if you give your time. He will bless your pockets if you give from your pockets righteously, right? He will bless you and have patience and mercy on you if you are patient and merciful to his creation. So give it up. Give up that mercy. Give up that compassion. Give up that little bit of money, right? For a good cause. Give up that time and watch how God gives it back to you multiplied. All right. That's all I got for you, Mom.
That's all I got. Y'all give it up.
That's it. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up.
Give
All
it
right.
up.
So
Give it up.
we love y'all so much. Any more comments before we go?
Yes,
Amen.
Auntie
Stop
Richetta.
giving. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. You were reading something, Brandon?
No, you go. I was reading the
Okay.
comments. You go ahead, sweet.
Okay. So we stopped here. Good morning from Auntie Richetta. She says, good morning, everyone, and family, nephew. She got the butterfly and all of the hearts going there. Latasha says, amen. Stop giving others expired food, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stop, stop giving. Stop doing it, y'all. But do give it up. And what is it? Define it. How are you giving it up? Where are you throwing it? And what is it attracting? All right. So y'all be great. Remember, y'all missed us. We got our groove on as we came in. So we're gonna get our groove on as we Brandon, stop it.
No,
The-
I'm sorry, Mom. It's cute to me. It's beautiful to see you over there dancing. And I'm just waking up and with all that. So it's a good start to the day.
yes, so we're gonna end the show like that too. So don't y'all go now. Don't pop off because y'all got to get your groove on. Like Miss Brenda said, she got her groove on.
Hey.
We ought to feed the homeless for Thanksgiving. I've been wanting to do that for years and years. Used to do it with a church that I attended, but I would love to get in the kitchen and cook pans and pans of food and feed the homeless. Like that would just bring me so much joy.
Well, let's
And
do it.
just to sit and fellowship with them, to love on them, to give them a few things that they need, and not old, you know.
Yeah.
Just love on them, just love on them, and see if we can help in any way. But let's think about that, y'all, and make some things happen. Y'all, we need help. Like, if y'all, we're family here, so some things y'all want to put together and make it happen, come on, let's do it. And don't forget about the irreplaceable documentary that we're going to be having. We need all of you. Even if you're out of town, try to come. Let's do this thing. Irreplaceable is an amazing documentary. It will touch you in ways that, wow, you did not know you need to be touched, right? That it's just a beautiful documentary. Mark Walker says, morning. Good to see you back, my brother. So Brandon, I think that's all I have. Other than, don't y'all leave now, because we're gonna get our groove on the way out, Brandon.
Oh, yeah,
But I want to see you moving a little bit. Daughter in love, I want you to do your dance.
We were talking about that dance, and I imitated. She said, "No, it's like this," and then she started doing it.
And
Oh
she
man,
does it. It's so funny. I don't know what is so funny about when she does it. She just has this little look on her face. Got to get her on here to do it one day.
yeah. Oh man, she'll turn red, boy.
I
She'll
know,
be purple the whole day. That's my
right?
baby though.
No, you
That's
didn't
my
say purple. Be
baby.
purple.
It'll be
Purple the
purple.
whole day.
Yeah. But all right, y'all, we're gonna get up out of here and with a quick reading of what the title was today. It was Give It Up. Give it up. You gotta give it up to receive. You gotta give it up to get anything back. And God is the best of those who return on your investment, on your sacrifice. So our quote came from John H. Johnson, the founder of Johnson Publishing Company, who said, "The key to my success has been to give up everything for my dream, to give up everything for my dream." And our affirmation today says, "I will concentrate on giving my talents and gifts. In due time, my good will return." I will concentrate on giving my talents and gifts, and in due time, my good will return. So believe that and receive that. And we'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place on the In This Season podcast. Make sure that you go like and subscribe this YouTube. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, go to the YouTube right now, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if you so please, turn on those notifications. We love you.
And
it's time to get
your
down.
groove on. Come on. Come on, Brandon.
I'm with it. I'm vibing.
Come on, Auntie Richette. I know she got it. Come on.
Stella, you back there? What you doing, baby? What's my wife doing?
Yeah. I want y'all to, when things start to look different today, get your groove on. Come on.
Get the groove on. All right, you're going to have me out there in the middle of the street dancing now. We're going to call the authorities on your son.
Hey, we can do that too. So what y'all doing? We like-minded people, changing the energy.
Mama, last time the cops was called on us, guess what we did? We ended up giving them a plate of food and was dancing out in the middle of the street with the cop cars, the lights on, and everything.
All right. It's been great, y'all. Get your groove on today. Give it up. Give your groove. Give it up. Dance out of things you're going through. All right.
That's what it's for, right?
Yeah. I see you, Brandon. Look at him. Look at your husband, Stella. All right, y'all be great.
All right, y'all.
We love y'all.
Y'all.
See y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a quick one, you guys. So y'all get in early with us. We're going to let you out really early because I have to jump on the road about 7:30 in order to get to where I need to be. So come in soon and be ready for a quick. We're going to do a drive-through. We're going to give y'all the plates right at your car. All right?
We'll do it.
Love y'all.
I love y'all. Peace.
Peace.